viewers and subscribers. This is the Geo Scholar, and this pond, gathering place for a variety of wildlife, from your mallards to your Canada geese, and a great blue heron off in the background, and algae. You get around a lot of fresh water, a lot of bodies of fresh water like this pond, you're gonna find some algae. Now in the case of this particular pond, this is a pond and it's shallow, so with a relatively shallow body of water, you have energy from the sun. That sunlight penetrating the pond, a relatively shallow body of water, and so for that reason, the water can get warmer easier. It does very well in warm water. Under natural conditions, you have a limited amount of algae. In some cases, you can get an algae bloom. There are a lot of birds around, and one of the things that helps algae grow is an abundance of phosphorus. One of the things that helps algae grow is an abundance of phosphorus. And there are plenty of birds here. Birds themselves are a good source of phosphorus because of what they leave behind. If you have a weak stomach, do not watch this part. I have to be careful where I walk because the birds leave behind their excrement, their feces. And bird feces, that is a very good source of phosphorus. When you get too much phosphorus, that can cause an algae bloom, and that will cause a lot of fish kills. And one of the reasons it causes fish kills is because when you have too much algae in the bodies of water, what happens is that saps all of the oxygen out of ponds and lakes, and that kills a lot of fish. Other sources of algae blooms include runoff. You know, people put too much fertilizer on their lawn. That's a good source of phosphorus, and that runoff comes and it gets into lakes and ponds. Too much nitrogen can cause an algae bloom as well. Too much nitrogen and phosphorus, you have an algae bloom. But in the case of this pond, there are a couple of things to look at. You've got bird excrement, which is a good source of phosphorus for the algae. You have the relative shallowness of this pond, which when you have the sun beating down on this pond, sunlight penetrates easier, it's warmer, and for that reason, algae thrive in relatively warm bodies of water. This is one reason algae growth is very limited in alpine lakes. I actually have a video about alpine lakes. I will put it in the description box. Click on that link. That's my relatively brief explanation about algae. If you like this video, check out other videos on this channel. As always, be sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Special shout out to Atlas Schmatlis, one of my Patreons who's pledging $3 a month. And I leave you with this message. Get out, explore. That's one way you can learn geography.